Welcome to another episode of From the Archives. This time, I'm joined by Karl.
Hello.
Yes.
'Tis I.
So as I said in the last video, if people haven't seen it, I'll link it up there.
Somewhere.
Yeah. I've been going to the Fact Fiend archive and tidying it up, and what I've found is that a lot of the old footage we had is still there.
Mm-hmm.
And this time I thought it'd be interesting because this is the first ever Fact Fiend episode we recorded, I thought it'd be interesting to get Karl in, and we're going to watch the original together, and then watch this slightly re-edited version with a few different takes, a few sort of behind-the-scenes conversations, and just sort of have a chat about, back in the day. But before we start, you've seen the other one I uploaded, the earliest Fact Fiend footage one, haven't you?
Yeah, and it was really fascinating to watch after all these years. One, because look at little baby Karl. Look at him. He didn't know what protein was back then. He didn't know how to do squats anyway. And then just to see the conversation we had, which almost seems scripted, given how eerily prophetic it was for the tone of the channel.
Yeah.
Where we literally lay out the eventual format of Fact Fiend of a conversation between friends. While it feels like one of those things camera was wrong, Bay caught me slipping sort of thing, of accidentally getting the perfect shot or bit of footage to describe exactly what it is we're talking about. And it's no, it was genuinely just a conversation we were having, and we recorded everything back in those days because we didn't know what would be useful and what wouldn't.
Yeah, we just set the camera going and just used what we could. And I mean, that's very evident with a lot of these earlier recordings, because I have half an hour to an hour of footage for each one. And the episodes were 3 minutes long. But without further ado, so what we're going to do is we're going to just watch the first episode for... I don't know when the last time you saw this was. Do you go back and watch a lot of the old episodes?
I never go back. I only watch them when they get uploaded, and now because I edit them, I don't need to do that.
Yeah, so this will be one of the first times, maybe in 5 years, that you've seen the first ever episode.
Yeah, it will have been, say, for that From the Archives episode where I watched the conversation, because you cut to it and stuff, because I was curious about it myself.
Let's go.
Hi there, this is Carl Smallwood for FactFiend.com.
I look exactly the same.
So I was going to mention this, right? You have aged spectacularly well. Obviously you're a bit more muscular now. The main giveaway is the tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I put up the original From the Archives one, people in the comments were saying this could quite easily be the film now, apart from the fact that Karl doesn't have a tattoo. Also, I don't know if you've ever experienced the joy of being able to fiddle while you're editing, but you can do stuff like this.
To be fair, I can see it whenever I want.
Just look in the mirror.
Just look in the mirror and just pretend I'm a goldfish. But yeah, look at little baby Karl.
About District 9.
Cut.
Everything right?
Yeah, sorry, you just...
There it is. There it is.
Is that a joke about my last name?
So should we talk about the green screen then? So I guess we have to, it's become an iconic part of the channel's identity now. We still use it. It's not the same one. The original green screen is right here. This is it. It's right here because we had to rip it off of its fountain.
And why did we have to do that?
Oh, because I damaged it trying to fold it apart, because it had been folded out for so long that the screws that kept its shape had shone through. So when we tried to fold it, a little piece of metal sheared through and cut it.
It probably rusted.
It probably did, yeah, from overuse. Or underuse, I guess. And yeah, we still have it. And for a while, I've been trying to track down someone who knows how to do embroidery or tailoring to turn this into either a waistcoat or a blazer, depending on how much material they'd need. I did tentatively have someone who was going to do that, but then they stopped messaging me.
Right.
So if someone out there knows how to turn, a 6x4 square foot of material into an item of clothing, reach out and I'll pay you for it.
But yeah, that original green screen was basically all we had. It belonged...
It got us through some times, didn't it?
It did, yeah. It belonged to Nisha and I. It was actually... Because obviously Nisha didn't join the channel until a few years later, but that green screen was half of both of ours, because when we were at uni, we went halves on it to do some projects. And if people notice, there's an iconic part of it, which it's visible on the screen now, actually. On the left-hand side, there's a little stain. That was because we filmed something where I walked across it on the grass. Because it was a shot from above and it got a bit of dirt on it. And that's where that came from.
And you can't really put a green screen in the washing machine.
No, not really.
You could now. Imagine getting it out. Everything on this screen right now became part of the channel's identity at some point.
Apart from the pineapple.
But no, that's the thing. You think, Bonely. I'd say argue Bonely is a natural extension of that. When we had the desk for a little bit of having something silly on the desk, that continued the trend of having the pineapple in the background. So there'd be something visually interesting that people would look at and be like, why is there a pineapple in the background?
Don't take this the wrong way. It just looks shit.
Well, There's not really many ways to say it looks shit. What would you recommend?
Right, okay, let's try another
How many takes do you think that took, Brad?
I'm talking about District 9.
Well, we're going to see a few, because there are a few alternate takes.
Yeah.
Because as we've said, that little conversation happened, and then we did a version of it afterwards for the video.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
there's a few different variations of us trying to get the same like vibe we had originally.
Yeah, and people can see from this shot here. You can hit play while we go through this bit, because I was going to say
awesome.
the easiest way to tell that I'm quite tall, I guess most people don't realise if they see me on like a screen this big, is look at how long my arms look without skinning it out.
Eight, yeah, 8 gigabyte card.
And I'm moving around a lot here
Yeah, 64,
because
fuck that, you need 8.
I was
That's how you
nervous.
do it, that's how the pros do it, mate.
Why? I don't see the advantage.
It's so they could get smaller pieces of footage throughout the day.
Why do they need small pieces?
Well, they didn't want to overwhelm their editor.
yeah,
footage
that-
is
there's,
really
there's a lot of this
And then,
nervous
yeah,
habit.
you've got to edit this bollocks.
Yeah.
Imagine trying to edit that and then you got to
That was an in-joke, wasn't it? Remember? If you want to hit pause here, because that was like me saying you've got to edit this bollocks. It's because we'd had a conversation previously of like, God, editing this is going to be a nightmare.
Oh god! Well, at this point, I had already edited a few different things because this was the first episode, but we'd done a few like the Christopher Lee thing that went up. We'd already done that bit as well.
Yeah.
And a few like the little Trump thing. So there were other examples of it. I already knew how awkward it was going to be. We managed to simplify it, obviously, by not doing multiple camera angles and just letting it play rather than trying to script everything. But yeah,
Photoshop.
Yeah, it was rough. Plus, like, you know, the wild.
Background.
Oh, I was going to say the. Yeah! Like, I was saying the wild gesticulation is why we hold a cup of tea.
You familiar with that?
it was also because early on you clicked every time you spoke.
Oh, yeah, I could do
Yeah,
that.
that thing with your lips. I do that as well now. I always
Like lip
notice
snapping,
it.
which,
Yeah.
which some people hate. Some people love as well. Like ASMR is one of those weird things. So my ex was really into it. And sometimes at night, I just hear her phone playing over her headphones. I just hear. And I'd be like, why is that? Like, if someone was doing that right next to my ear, I would wake up and start swinging. I'd be like, you know, someone's breaking in, like someone right in my ear just going. I would not be liking that very much. Some people did.
Yeah, wow.
I went to a seminar and we talked about it.
Did the wow. It's a great story. You sell the rights to that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
How much did it hurt you as well to not use a PNG of the red one, but also to put it outside the green screen? This is where I think, from like you can see from the literal first photo we put in the background, you can see it's the corners hanging off.
So that's intentional.
It is, yes.
Yeah. I don't know if people realize, but if I key out the green, anything that goes outside of that green border would then be behind behind what's visible.
Yeah,
Because-
it's actually more difficult to
Yeah.
the photos to do, which I don't think a lot of people realised, did they?
No,
it's more
so-
difficult to do it the way we did.
It's more noticeable if you watch any of the Wiki Weekend videos that Lucas has edited, because he doesn't come from the same visual effects background as Nisha and I. He doesn't do that. And when we started doing the Wiki videos as well, we would adopt his style. And the images will disappear behind the borders of the green screen, whereas in the other ones, when the images come in, they are over the top of the corners. And Nisha and I would specifically have to go in and separate you from the green screen border so that an image would be behind you but in front of the screen. And
Yeah, we
obviously
wanted to create-
that's been done here.
And our thinking was like those classic shots, the Charlie Day in front of like the pin board with all the wires on it. We thought by the end of it, when I'm like looking around, you just see this mad collage of images that are seemingly not connected at all. If you watch the video and you see them build up over time, it does make sense. And a lot of people miss that in later stuff, but just I'm editing videos now and I don't have the time to do it.
To rent it by the hour. Really fucking expensive. They cost an absolute fucking. I think it's the thing God used to film is like The Birth of Jesus. And Peter Jackson actually.
That's a
lent
joke
one
from the
to
original
Neil
script.
Blomkamp. He's like, I want to see this movie get made. Use my personal
Neil,
one.
get a better photo, mate.
I'm not doing anything.
He's always gutting it when celebrities have bad photos.
That's the thing.
Don't you
yes,
think?
it's so
Yeah, especially when it's the one that's... If I was a celebrity enough to have a page on Wikipedia, I would put my own photo on.
specialised, you need to convert that footage to be edited and to fit with other footage. And at the time, a lot of stuff was filmed with handheld. That's how you get all the action scenes and to give the amateur look to the interview scenes.
This little guy, hello. So
Yeah, I love Sharlto Copley.
nice background with the people there.
And the problem was,
I just love his
To
accent.
the
I can't do the
essence,
South
you need
African
to-
accent. It's like, fucking
the-
prawns!
you need a special guy. I think his name was Jonathan Smiles, I think it was. I'm not sure it was credited as, but I'm hoping it's the guy with the biggest dick.
Man
because
with
he
it.
had the hardest job on set. So they had this camera, and they had all these other cameras. And
Especially those
the problem
fact bars as well,
was,
'cause I kept
you can't
forgetting
come in
stuff,
at the end of
right?
the day.
Yeah,
Is that
so
why they were added?
the fat bar was used to like either correct or pad out a detail,
Mhm.
and
That's
yeah,
remained constant on the channel.
yeah,
Even in the edits I do, yeah.
yeah. I think the main reason for them going in there is like because we didn't want people in the comments to be like actually. So
Yeah.
and because
Which
you were
we still get, so.
because you were reading it from an article that you'd written a long time ago and were just read. It's like
Mhm.
occasionally you would say something wrong. It's like, well, we'll just put a bar in and be like, actually.
Or, like, you know, or someone like would information would be out of date, or
Yeah.
a name would be wrong, or a time frame would be wrong. Or like my favorite one though, and I think you must remember this because it was one of the most annoyed it's the most annoyed I've ever seen you be in regards to an edit. Is the Jurassic Park one we did, where I mentioned the hero who like runs away with the 2 margaritas.
Oh my god, yes.
And you put a fact bar as I'm talking about that of like, hey, this is Jimmy Buffett,
Yeah.
the owner of the singer of the Margaritaville song, and he owns a restaurant called Margaritaville, which has a cameo in the thing. Every other comment on that video is, hey, did you know that's Jimmy Buffett? Which means that they heard me say that and didn't even bother looking at the fact bar that pops up telling them the fact that they're sharing with us.
Well, I find it fascinating that so many people say that they listen to the videos and don't watch them.
Mhm.
And like the amount of effort we put into a lot of the visuals and adding the extra facts and stuff, and some people just miss all of it because they just listen to it like it's a podcast.
Which makes sense, like, especially with the longer ones. I completely get that, which is why my emphasis now is on like random clips and stuff, as opposed to like the visuals of the video itself, because that visual style is pretty distinct and pretty much locked in at this point.
You just hand him every hard drive from every one of these cameras. At the time, it was estimated you could only do about an hour of footage a day from a Red one. Easy way to sort it, only film a few minutes of footage at a time. By only using 8 gigabytes, they can only film about 4 minutes of footage.
I
So
forgot
when they
about
film
this, to be
4
fair.
gigabytes of
I'm learning
footage,
something.
They send it to Jonathan. Don't give him a fucking hard drive full of stuff at the end of the day. Give him a little bit. Treat him. Just don't put it all in there at once. Just tickle the balls a little bit first. Yeah, ease it in there. Just a tip.
So the reason
Hey, there's my mug. The mug makes its that's the first appearance of a mug on Fact Fiend. Let's go.
Which mug is it?
Exactly.
I think that might have been one of Anna's.
An editor, and then
I think it has like a cat on the other
do
side.
his job at the end of the day. I know, it's really good. And
It's gone.
It was one of the first films to do it, and
Continue.
they managed to come in under fucking budget. They finished ahead of schedule. Like, that is almost unheard of, especially with a film that required so much CGI. So there is a scene in that movie where someone launched a pig
Yeah,
at someone.
here
in
it
a
is.
fucking
Best shot in the
furry
movie.
mech suit.
Dong.
Basically, yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. It's
The fact we never got a sequel to this movie is a crime.
Genius fucking solution to something that
It was talked
could have
about.
caused a massive problem, and they finished ahead of schedule.
Yeah. So I always feel so bad for Neil Blomkamp, because like all the projects he's been linked to, that he had that Alien movie with like Sigourney Weaver signed on that never got made. The like District 9 sequel that never got made. Like Elysium, which just sucks ass.
Elysium is
Like,
is that the one with Matt Damon and the ship in space?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's the most like ham-fisted allegory for just give people free healthcare I've ever seen. And it was originally supposed to star Eminem, but he wanted to film it on location in Detroit, and he's like, I'm not fucking filming in Detroit.
Oh, there's a video
like, but-
right there.
Well, I think someone's going to mention that, so I might as well.
Hmm.
People still do that.
Yeah, it's a thing now.
Sure, if someone likes my video, they're gonna press the like button. If they want to subscribe, they'll fucking
It's
subscribe, mate. What's the problem?
Still true to this day.
Well, everyone takes a shit and they don't need to film me doing that. Can you put the subscribe button wherever you want? Yeah. Great. So hi guys, I really hope you enjoyed that video. We're a new channel, so if you want to leave a like or a comment with
Did you see this went like
feedback, that'd really
somewhat
help us out.
viral on Reddit a while
Like what
ago?
you see?
What,
Why
the
not
subscribe
subscribe?
penis?
It made me really,
Yeah, someone
really,
posted this out of
really
context
happy
clip
you did that. If you just click
onto
that
like
subscribe
a
button
Reddit
right now,
subreddit or something, because I
that would
got
be
sent it as a DM of like, oh yeah, like
great
R unexpected or something like that. Of like, oh yeah, the like and subscribe page for this channel. That was like such a dumb joke as well, and I
Is that
can't
too
believe we
much?
actually got away with that.
Oh, I like subscribe penis. I think
Subscribe Penis was great. It should come back.
the return of just higher quality.
Yeah, I've always leaned into, like, you know, my last name being funny, because if I don't do it, other people will make the joke. And I actually experienced this live, like 3 or 4 days ago. I had a tweet that went viral. And here's some pro advice: if you ever have a tweet go viral, mute it straight away. It's not worth it. Just mute it instantly. Don't post anything underneath to your socials. People will click on them and continue harassing you there. Because whenever something goes viral, it's going to have people, the reply guys, who want to coast off of your success and angry that you've got more success than them. And every other comment was from someone who didn't follow me was just small wood, as an insult to say my own last name at me. That's why you got to make the joke about it. It's why our company's called Big Wangers. It's why Big Wangers Incorporated is like the logo on a t-shirt, all that stuff. Like, if you're going to have people making a dumb, obvious joke at you, you might as well make it first. We talked about Eminem, the final rap of 8 Mile, where he just starts rapping about himself. It's like, now you tell these people something they don't fucking know about me.
That's the thing that amazes me, that people would say it thinking like, it's like if you've grown up with...
It's got to be the first time I've ever heard it,
It's like A Boy Named Sue, like the Johnny Cash song. Like, the whole point of that is that he was made strong by having the name called him the entire time. It's like, it's not going to have any impact on you because you've had that surname your entire life. So what's the point?
It's like that Simpsons bit. I watched the Simpsons episode, the one where Bart plays hooky, and it's like May Quimby's son, and he's like, say it, chow dare. And he starts laughing, and the waiter walks away and he's like, get back here, I'm not done demeaning you yet. It's like that, isn't it? Of like, you've got to stand there and let me harass you. It's the same energy as people who yell at cashiers. Because they know they've got to stand there and take it, and they get annoyed when you don't.
So what we're about to watch now is the same thing we just watched, basically. But
the Redux.
Yeah, but what I've done is I've gone back and I've done a re-edited version where I've actually taken what I would argue are better takes. Because for some reason, when I edit that first one, I decided to use the worst takes and make it 3 minutes long. But I've also left in the some of the conversations like we did with the previous one, because it's interesting to hear that little bit behind the scenes. So a couple of moments in this there isn't any footage because it's just the audio. So hopefully you can hear it.
Possible then. Well, I'll just do what I did before. I look best when I'm out of focus. All the ladies say it. It's also not recording.
You look great out of focus. God, so charming. That's a great line. That's a really good line. I'm going to use that next time.
I look better out of focus.
I look better out of focus. All the ladies say it. Check out my Tinder profile if you want proof.
Smallwood, and I'm here for factfiend.com. Instead, I'd like to talk about District 9.
Yeah, cut.
Oh, what was wrong?
I love the zoom out.
That sounds fake as shit.
That's the only time we've ever adjusted the camera on the fly in a Fact Fiend video ever.
I think there's been the occasional time we have done it, but it's usually to show.
It's not with someone knocking it over, to be fair.
Hi there, I'm Karl Smallwood for factfiend.com, and today we're talking about District 9.
Yeah, cut, seriously.
Did I do something wrong?
That's the mysterious door.
Yeah, like, you look fake as shit.
Oh, hi there, this is Karl Smallwood for factfiend.com. Instead,
this is the joke we put into our videos, isn't it now?
Cut.
Everything right?
Like the intros. Have you noticed in like the recent videos, I've just been leaving in like the preamble to the intro because I'm like, fuck it. If I've got to put up with like not getting the intro right, everyone else got to watch it too.
Yeah, I've been having trouble with intros. Like, what I tend to do is like when I've been recording one, I do one that's like the scripted in air quotes one, but then I use a different part anyway because it just feels more natural.
Yeah, which is what people like. That's a pro tip for people out there. Genuine enthusiasm is what people tend to be attracted to when it comes to online personalities. And the reason why you see so many people fail online is because they try and fake it and they can't.
Hi there, this is Karl Smallwood for factfiend.com. Instead, let's talk to you about District 9.
Factfiend.com. Do my phone voice.
Tonight?
You can hear my phone voice, Kat. You can hear it.
Is that a joke for my last name?
Yes, it is.
There it is. And that's when you just boom.
Walk off frame like a legend.
District 9.
And what about District 9?
That they used. They filmed it on 8 gigabyte. Yeah. Well, do you not know about that?
No, I don't.
There we go. There it is. That's what I need. But I can't tell you too much. Then you'll know. Because I need your reaction. It needs to be genuine. And then my reaction to your reaction feels better when it's spontaneous and genuine. And
the thing is that if this was another YouTuber, like this wouldn't be me and you presenting it. This would be like hidden footage, and it'd be me screaming at you off frame. So how many we've joked about it, haven't we? Like how many YouTubers who are like their whole brand is like, oh, I'm friendly and personable and everyone loves me. It's like 3 years after they get successful, it's like they're a raging piece of shit.
It's genuine and I'm excited. Let's go. Just throw that together and see what it looks like.
It looks
so
amateur.
That's the thing that I like that. Yeah. If it's going to be me,
it's
got to be shit.
Because I've tried it, and me not being shit, it looks too fake.
Yeah.
We have to draw attention to it, and if we did,
This looks so real because it looks because
Yeah.
there's no.
And it's the thing. That's the thing we just mentioned at the end, wasn't it? Like with my name. I didn't realize that. I was like, yeah, we need. If it's gonna look shit, we need to draw attention to it right away.
Yeah.
That way, it becomes part of the style.
It looks more real because it's a glance behind the scenes. Like the green screen is there, but it's not being like you can see that there's a green screen there. I think that was the original idea of keeping it present because then it feels more like there's more of a connection there because you're not looking at a performer, you're looking at a guy who's trying to be a performer but is just getting so involved in what he's doing.
What's really funny to me is that this actually got ripped off by other YouTubers. Like just Simon Whistler started leaving outtakes in because we did it and it was popular. I've got direct confirmation of that because I know his editor.
The talking to the editor thing, I don't know if we started that, like people took it from us. But everybody does that now. They talk to the people who edit the videos, or they communicate with the editors or whoever's behind the camera. That became very popular, and I don't know whether it was a case of like people saw us doing it and it spread, or that we just did it first, or we were one of the people who did it earlier, of like breaking that fourth wall.
And I will point out, like, if anyone wants to do that, you can, but make sure you pay your editors a fair wage. I guarantee the people doing that joke do not pay their editors well. Simon does, I know that. But I've seen like plenty of other big YouTubers make those jokes. It's like, I know you're not paying your editors very well. I know you don't know their names.
Just be able to play. Here we go.
Look at the ladder man. It's like Gabe from The Office. It's like, go away, skeleton man.
You make your own fun, don't you?
You do.
Oh, right, anyway.
It looks because
and as well, it's me just genuinely being excited about talking about something. Good afternoon, I'm Karl with the Fact Fiend, and I'd like to talk to you today
There's a
about
mouse in the
district.
way.
Yeah, no, cut.
Look at that fucking lid.
The things, is that alright? So, Mom.
I know my hair's not great now, but that's when I didn't have enough money to pay for an haircut.
Is that a joke about my last name?
That's a true fact.
Yes, it is.
Like first
I
year
know
of the
it's a
channel,
funny
I
last
couldn't
name,
afford an
mate,
haircut.
but, what's
I think it sort of suited the look. Scruffy
The
boy.
dishevelled, excitable person.
Bo Burnham.
Yeah. This is like, peak Bo Burnham looks like. Because that's the thing, Bo Burnham, he's like, he clearly got a stylist when he got famous. And his stylist told him the young, like, long hair doesn't work for a lad your age anymore. That's why I, mostly sweet man across now. Just 'cause it looks more suitable to my age.
I still want you at some point to just try and grow the beard.
Well, I can't. I can only grow like a goatee.
But have you left it for like months just to see?
During the pandemic, I left it for like a month.
I think I remember you seeing you with like the light goatee actually.
Yeah, it's my ID photo because it's the only clear photo I've got on my face, and I look like I'm 35.
Wait, so your ID's got a goatee on it?
No, it's just me when I've got like stubble.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like, but I only grow stubble in the shape of a goatee. I don't like go stubble here. Don't grow. I've got a mate who grows it up here near his eyes. So could be worse.
I thought you were saying that even though you never have facial hair, the one time you did, you used it for a passport photo.
No, it's just like the one good photo I've got of me is like a clear photo is when I had like a month's worth of stubble. But because it's so clear and so light, you can't tell anyway.
Right.
what's the problem? Come on.
Don't take this the wrong way. It just looks shit.
Well,
That's true.
there's not really many ways to say it looks shit, but
You know what I mean? It's like you look like you're reading it from a script.
I am. I wrote it. It's the way it's. I think we need to draw attention to the fact everyone does it this way, and goes, I know.
Right. So we want that line in it.
Yeah.
So
So
if I
because
say-
I need to go. I know.
I'll say, don't
and
take it
I
wrong-
don't like
don't
it
take it
because
wrong way.
I don't like. I can't stay still.
Don't take it the wrong way. If it looks a bit shit.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
said, how can I tell that anyway? Just say, look, I know everybody does it this way.
Is that yes? I know that's why I.
That's
Trying
what I'm
to
saying,
is
it's
very difficult.
But it's not working for
because
you.
it feels so
Yeah.
forced and you.
Yeah, it looks not with you. You look a bit forced.
Yeah.
Tell you what, let's try another way.
Good.
Right.
You tell me. This, yeah. Go on.
Look, I know everybody does it like this.
Yes,
So-
everyone does. That's what I'm trying to make it
But-
work.
It's not. It doesn't work for you. Like.
Not many things do. Yeah. So, what would you?
I can see why you
recommend?
edited this
okay,
down, to
let's
be
try
fair.
another way.
Okay.
So,
I'm all ears.
what are you talking about?
I was talking about District 9
Why are you talking about District 9?
because it's fucking awesome.
In relation to what fact?
Well, did you know when they filmed it only using 8GB memory cards? That's what I'm trying to talk about.
8 gigabyte.
8GB memory cards. All the entire film. Every
So
camera
this is like a
has
bit of a
8GB
minor
memory cards
point,
in.
but If you look at like my waist crotchal region, you'll see that my jeans don't fit. You can see that my jeans are hanging down my waist and my belt doesn't fit, because at that point in time, I literally could not find a belt that fit, because that's when I was like too skinny. I'm just noticing that you'll see my t-shirt keep riding up, even though it's like a long fitted t-shirt. And I've just realised, that was when I couldn't afford a belt.
The belt that I'm currently wearing is one where I keep cutting new holes in it every time I lose some weight, rather than buying a new belt.
Best way to do it.
Well, there's nothing wrong with the material. Just got
exactly. It's leather. It lasts forever.
Yeah. Well, until it rips eventually. I had a belt snap in half once when I was wearing it. That was fun.
I had the tag that stops your belt from like going whoop and flopping out like a penis. I had that snap on a night out and didn't realise, and just like my belt was hanging forward for the entire night. So I just had this like 6-inch bit of black material hanging where my crotch is just the entire night and didn't realise.
Did you pull that night?
Nope.
Wonder why.
How many gigabytes does your camera have for this 5-minute video?
The card in it at the moment is 64.
64 gigs. They use 1/8 the size.
5-minute video. Oh, we were naive back then. A 5-minute Fact Fiend video.
I like this one's like 3 minutes. I think they got longer faster than I remembered, because like when I'm doing like a rewatch at the moment, and the within like 10 episodes they're about 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's because we got to the point where like you were just leaving in funny takes. I think it started with, is it the video about like the Jaguars? And I just said the word muff.
Yes.
And I laughed for about like a minute and a half.
Yeah.
And I said you have to leave that in because it's so fucking funny. And it was one of the early videos that I think a lot of people shared on Facebook and stuff. So we still share the video on Facebook. People just liked me losing my shit.
Yeah, it was the Muff Diving Club. There was the town of Muff.
And that was the start of like tangents and stuff as well, where I told that tangent. That's a tangential extra fact unrelated to the original video.
For a 2.5-hour long film using about 30 different cameras.
So why did they film it on 8 gigabyte memory cards rather than just larger?
Well, the problem was they had so many cameras. If you've watched the film, there's loads of handheld footage, because part of the film is filmed into documentary. So they had lots of different cameras using lots of different file formats, different sizes they all had to be able to together. For the actual main film, they filmed it using the Red 1. Are you familiar with the Red 1?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, it's the really, really big camera. The super expensive one they used to film IMAX and that sort of thing. There was only a few in the world. They're so expensive that I don't think anyone actually owns one except for Peter Jackson.
Yeah, you meant to rent them.
Yeah, you do. Right. Production studios have to rent them. They're that expensive to get. Peter Jackson lent his to Neil Blomkamp because he wanted to see the film get made, and otherwise the budget was blown up.
Yeah.
But
that still cracks me up to this day. That's a real fact. Like, you know, obviously it's a real fact. We said it in a Fact Fiend video, so you can always trust everything we say. But just that camera equipment is so prohibitively expensive, almost no movie studio or production studio anywhere on earth actually owns their equipment.
Yeah.
So this is still true to this day for anyone curious. Like Disney do not own their own camera equipment for Marvel movies and the like. They rent it all from companies who do own it. It's that expensive.
Yeah, I mean, I know that things like the 3D cameras,
they cost a fortune.
They're
like
so
the red
expensive.
One. And it's like it's cheaper to rent them from companies who do own them. And that what cracks me up about that is we have to buy our equipment. And I know we're using like the prosumer level stuff, but even like when you think about just how much like money's worth of equipment we have, it is kind of bad. And I'm like, you know, I love that, you know, phones are now getting so ubiquitous in regards to, you know, the fact that everyone has one and the camera quality. Is that, you know, stuff like TikTok is allowed to exist. I know a lot of people don't like TikTok, but I like the idea that just someone with a phone, which is something that, you know, most people in the Western world will have, can potentially get successful.
Yeah.
Just filming with what they have. Like, they don't have to rely on having all this like really prohibitively expensive equipment. And I hate the snobbery that comes with like camera quality and audio quality and stuff. It's like some people just can't afford it.
I've always thought audio quality is more important than visual quality. You can definitely tell more.
Yeah, and something that we've really tried to avoid is becoming too professional, because you can see that with a lot of channels where they become too well produced and they become too corporate. And we've tried to avoid that. And it's like a lot of cases when that happens, you'll see some of the original creators just leave because they don't feel like they're being creatively challenged anymore.
Yeah.
It becomes too corporate. It becomes too manufactured.
But
Like Fact Fiend
problem
videos,
is,
which still get farted
if you
out.
want to convert that footage, because it's so specialised, you need to convert that footage to be edited into fit with other footage. They had a literal truck on set, the data truck, where they stored all the data, they backed it all up.
When are we
and
getting the
guy
fact
sat
truck?
through and went through all the footage.
Oh yeah, the fact wagon.
like
That's what it was.
The fact wagon.
So you get all the action scenes and
Let's go for the fact wagon.
actual look to the interview scenes, like where Vickers is interviewing like the prawns. So
The bronze.
to get those two footages to be the same,
I'm sorry, I'm just gonna do his
they
accent.
had to convert it.
Fucking
And the problem
prawns.
was, they couldn't just go to the editor.
You see, he
you
signed
needed-
the paper
for the red
when he
one.
hit the paper.
Yes.
That's that counts. Sorry, I'm just doing the act and doing the fix of the film. It's just I'm just doing
Wait till you finish.
shout out Copley quotes.
Fucking Bruns.
Yes,
I can't really do it either, but it's the way it's said.
It's just the bit where he's in the mech suit and he's just like, oh, fucking fuck you. It's great.
special guy. Editing footage is really fucking difficult.
Yeah, I know.
And you've got to edit this bollocks. Imagine trying to edit that and then you have to use this green screen to Photoshop a fucking alien into the background.
Oh well, there's one in the.
It's a shame we never did. I feel in a later video you'd have put an alien in the background. You'd have probably put an alien in the background, wouldn't you? Like, Joe, like
I
really,
would.
a really shit gif of like an alien like just dabbing or something. I feel like you'd put that. Do you remember like the dancing Spider-Man gif? Like that. Like,
Yeah.
Like that level of quality.
I'm gonna put my joke in because I want you to try and figure out why I would have cut this out.
Okay.
Oh, well, there's one in the foreground, so I don't need to worry.
Ooh, that's so great. Oh. Do you want to step up here, mate? It'd be great, wouldn't it?
My awful joke of, oh, there's an alien in front of the camera in the background. Ho ho ho.
So that's the thing. Bad jokes can be endearing.
I think if I did it now, I'd have left it in just for your reaction. Just like the sarcastic
Imagine that, the red
applause.
one. This huge
I'd probably been
camera,
less aggressive
this
as well.
camera. So they've got a guy whose job is to sort these out, but the red one is so specialised. They needed a guy whose job was just to convert footage from that.
Who was this guy?
Jonathan Smiles, I think his name was. I'm not familiar. Not sure who's credited as, but it should be guy with the biggest dick on set because his job was unreal. I think at the time they said 1 hour of footage for a red one is about the limit that you can get, convert, and get ready to edit.
So I'm thinking the reason why I may have chosen those other takes is because they were faster. And at the time we were looking for a shorter format.
Yeah, like I said, it's all informed by what our
Yeah.
like not design philosophy, creative philosophy was in regards to the content we wanted to make. And we were competing with people who made 2-3 minute long videos.
It's like something I'm noticing a lot about these takes watching now is that they've got more information in. They've got the same amount of information in, but they're being told better and longer. But then if I was making a decision on how to keep it as short as possible, I would find whichever take was like the shortest amount of time.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if I did it now, this version is, I would say, is better. Although you're talking a bit slowly, but that's just because it's new. It's a new thing.
Mm-hmm.
He did 5. How do you do that? Don't give him a fucking hard drive full of stuff at the end of the day. Give him a little bit. Treat him. Just don't put it all in there at once. Just tickle the balls a little bit first.
Ease it in there.
Yeah, ease it in there. Just a tip. It's like, I'm not going to give you it all at once.
No notes.
Just a little bit. And that's where the 8GB cameras come in.
Right.
By only using 8GB, they can only film about 4 minutes of footage. So when they filmed the 4 minutes of footage, they sent it to Jonathan.
So the reason they were using 8GB ones is because
Like you can hear that amount of breath as well. Just trying to get all the information.
Dickhead. Fuck's sake.
That's where the tea come from, I guess. We got a text message.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. That was your
How
phone.
organic.
Your phone was going off in the
So the
middle.
reason they were using 8GB,
Which now we just had to answer the
is
phone
because
call.
instead of giving
Like someone.
Oh! Dickhead. Fuck's sake.
I like how you didn't answer the phone either. You just went and got the drink.
Yeah. Well, 'cause I know the take's ruined, and I know I'm getting cotton mouth. You can hear how quickly I'm talking and how out of breath I'm getting because I'm trying to do it all like Jim Carrey style.
Yeah.
just because you drinking.
I need it.
Can you put the cup down?
Baby needs his bottle, mate.
What's in it?
Pims?
Pims?
Yeah, fucking hell.
I was drinking Pims. The very first video was a drinking video. Oh, you don't remember that?
No, neither did I.
I was
wasn't-
smashing Pims.
I
The
wasn't-
first video. That's, oh.
I don't know if you were telling the truth or not. I assumed you would have been, but the
To be fair, look at how like well lit it is. That probably was a nice day.
Mm.
And I think this is when I was working at race courses, so I got free Pims.
You look a little flushed as well. Could be a little bit of that Pimm's in there.
Could be.
It's like 2 in the morning. It's like 2 in the morning.
No one's gonna
To be fair,
believe I'm
drinking-
doing this shit at 2 in the morning, dickhead.
Well, that's just that good. So
2 in the
instead of him
morning,
doing it all at the end of the
smashing
day,
Pimm's.
He did it in pieces.
Yeah.
Could be.
Imagine like you're an editor now.
Consistency is key.
I mean, it wasn't 2 in the morning. That's the joke. I was making it sound like it was 2 in the morning.
But just that thing like, very first video, glass of Pimm's.
You're sat there. You're paid by the hour. 9:05. You sat there. And you drink your tea, and you have a quick look at your saying, "What?" Someone walks in the end of the day. Boom! Here's 5 hours of footage in a specialised format that only you know how to do. Get it sorted by tomorrow, mate. We'll be the milk for you. Bullshit. You'd be pissed off, wouldn't you? What would you do? So, instead of that, every day, just drip feed is memory card. 4 minutes of footage. Convert, send it to the editors. 4 minutes of footage. Convert, send it to the editors.
Sounds like you're attending.
No, it's just really good. And
That sounds like a
first
really
films to
easy
do it,
job.
and they managed to come in.
Do you know how I think
under
about
budget.
it? Of like, just being in charge of converting the footage sounds like a pretty easy gig.
I mean,
It's probably a lot of training involved, but once you've been trained, that feels like just like I'm the only person on set who knows how to deal with this like specialized format. And then you send it to the editors. So you're not even like responsible for the editing, just the conversion process.
the part of it I don't get though is when it comes to like converting footage, I don't get why that would be such a specialized job. Because surely you put the memory card into a device, click a few buttons, and it'll just convert it. I don't know what
imagine,
his process is.
I imagine the red one uses like, because it's filming in IMAX, I reckon that must be an incredibly specialized format.
It must just
Not
be.
to mention, well,
It must just be pressing buttons though. I can't understand why it'll be. Like, obviously, once you know how to do it, you know how to do it. The same way with like just editing videos.
But that's the thing as well, though. Of you can say that about nearly any job. Like this is just
Yeah.
pressing buttons, and that's the thing. Of like, but it's knowing which buttons to press in which order.
And not getting it wrong ever.
Yeah,
It's like anybody can drive a forklift truck. It's like, yeah, but anybody can also
it's just-
smash it through a wall.
exactly. Yeah, but it does sound like a pretty sweet gig for that guy, being like one of the few people on planet Earth who knows what to do with this footage.
And Andy's guy with the biggest dick in the world, apparently.
It is, yeah, on set at least.
Because even though they had this expensive camera and they spent a shit ton of special effects, the fact that they could get the footage they filmed from the camera to the editors so quickly saved them about 20-30 days off their time. It's amazing.
So did they save a lot of money doing it?
Fuck yeah, they did. They finished ahead of schedule. Like, that is almost unheard of, especially with a film that required so much CGI. Like, have you any idea how long they spent CGI alien testicles out? There is a scene in that movie where someone watched a pig at someone at Mach fucking 3 in a mech suit.
I don't remember that bit.
How do you know? That's the best bit of the fucking movie. It's brilliant. He gets a
It's the
pig.
best bit of the movie.
And like Mach fucking 3 at someone's face. And basically, yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. It's such an ingenious fucking solution to something that could have caused a massive problem, and they finished ahead of schedule and managed to come under budget for a CGI laden like action movie equivalent, basically.
It's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
All right, so
pretty
the only bit we're left to
dope.
do is the like, comment, subscribe bit at the end.
Really? People still do that now?
Yeah, it's a thing.
You can also tell as well that I'm
She's
unfamiliar
been
with like
there for
YouTube as a
7
whole, because I legit didn't know about this. I don't watch much YouTube. I didn't at the time. I still don't. I watch like 3 YouTube content creators and that's it. So I didn't know it was a big thing until you told me that it was, because you watch more YouTube and you were like guiding my hips in that regard.
Yeah, there's definitely a pattern when it comes to the way the channel like grew. In all of the things that we like say happened, but are usually like we turn them into a bit. Like this conversation where you said, why do I have to say this, was a conversation we had, and then that was like, why don't we turn this into a bit in the video?
Yeah,
The same thing,
rather
like,
than doing it.
yeah, like, can you put the subscribe button where my penis is? Like, I think you just said that, and we were
Yeah.
like, why not just make that the bit?
Make it a joke, yeah.
Everybody does it.
So
Let's show people that we're kooky.
everyone
And
thinks shit, and I don't need to film me doing that.
Just do the like, comment, subscribe bit.
Okay, if I do it, can you? at least
Which was-
make it
this
so
was an
it's
argument behind the
subscribe
scenes,
button
by the
where
way.
my penis is?
Just do
So it just
it.
gets more erect as I say it.
All right.
Perfect. So hi guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. We're a new channel.
The take
so
without
if
the
you want to
penis.
leave a like or a
It
comment
is.
with some suggestions or some feedback, that would really help us out. And as well, if you like what you see, why not subscribe? It made me really, really,
really happy if you did that. If you just click that subscribe button right now, I will be very grateful. Have a great day.
Also, it's a joke that doesn't make sense
Is that
anymore
too
because
much?
you no longer have the subscribe button.
You've seen a red camera then?
Yeah. When?
Whenever.
Oh, nobody cares. Let's go on with this, right?
The banter.
No, tell me, come on, seriously. You've seen a red camera then?
Oh,
Yes, I am.
So anyway, so what's the thumbnail for this going to be? Apparently that's a big part of YouTube now. Thumbnails.
Yeah,
I also
kinda
didn't
just
know
assumed
this.
I put a picture of the film and some text over it.
No. I'm going to put a picture of me smiling, massive, big,
I want people
pearly.
to, I want people to come to the video, though.
Can you not word that in?
that's the end.
Yeah. Or people to come for the video.
We also, as well, make fun of that. So, yeah, most of Fact Fiend was like, basically we just tried to eschew the normal trends, but some of them we did lean into. The like, comment, subscribe bit it's that way of like having our cake and eating it too, of even when you say it as a joke, people still do it because the psychology surrounding content creation and interacting with said content, just being told to do something even sarcastically makes you want to do it. Just my thoughts on it still remain the same of like, if people like it, they'll like, and it's so frustrating. It's like, you can think that, but I know it's wrong. And that's what annoys me. Like, it's nice to think that, but I know it's wrong. I know that just the numbers do not lie of if you say, hey, like, comment, subscribe, more people will like, comment, and subscribe. And liking, comment, and subscribing improves your ranking on YouTube. And that is so frustrating.
Yeah, but no, final thoughts on the first episode, and what do we think? What are your thoughts?
Again, there's very few things from the channel's history that I actively regret. I think from day one, we were very clear about what we wanted to do, and we, for the most part, haven't really compromised on anything. And I always get asked, is there a video that you regret? And to answer that question, the videos that I do regret are ones where we talk about stuff or people which have since been outed as shitty. Like, we mentioned J.K. Rowling in an early video, and it's before her views on trans people were well known. And I don't like that video exists. Like, if we made that, we probably wouldn't make that video today because I don't want to talk about J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
We didn't know at the time. I was like, there's videos where we use problematic language, which we weren't too clued up on because, we're just two white guys who grew up in northern working class towns, which are, not very ethnically diverse. And, since then, I've been exposed to more viewpoints and people and have tried to do my best to remove those things from my language. But they're the only real regrets that I have. So I'm happy. It's like, young little baby Karl seems to know what he was doing.
The thing that surprised me the most is how little things have actually changed, really.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from
including my face.
Yeah, I mean, you're just getting a little bit more comfortable in front of the camera, and I have slightly less of a northern accent, and that's basically it.
Not much has changed at all. I said it's one of the reasons why the channel existed is because I wanted to do things my own way, and from pretty much day one, it was done my own way. So there's not really much that I ever felt the need to change, save for some visual tweaks that we made because we got better equipment or we wanted to try something new. And again, they weren't forced by anyone. It was just us trying something new, and that's what always frustrates. Like when we brought Nisha in. I remember we got complaints from long-time fans. I've been watching your channel for a while. I don't like this. It's like, Nisha's our friend. And in my head, I was so confused. But the whole channel concept is a talk with friends. And I want to talk to my friend.
We'd been discussing getting another person in for a while because we'd made a couple hundred or whatever it was videos, and there's only so much you can talk to one person about.
Yeah,
it's better to have someone else's perspective. Yeah, we had Josh in for one or two.
The reason we didn't have anyone besides us two in from the first video is because we literally couldn't afford it. The channel made no money for 2 years. It was a passion project from us both, where we both agreed to take no money for the first year. If we'd have had the seed money, or he was making 10 grand a month from straight away, we would have brought more people in. We would have had more equipment. The style would have been immediately way more professional.
Yeah, that first year, I think the YouTube itself was making... Oh, God, it was like 40 quid.
Yeah, and I didn't take any of that, did I? I think I let you take it all.
Yeah, I took all the YouTube, and we split the Patreon, which was a little bit more. But the only reason the Patreon was a little bit more is because we had one guy who was giving us 100 quid or something a month.
Yeah, and I gave the Patreon money to a dog charity because I didn't feel comfortable taking it. And I still don't feel comfortable taking Patreon money and stuff. So I generally either funnel it back into the channel for funding channel stuff like equipment or like merch stuff, or give it to charity.
I remember I used that bit of income to drop a shift at work so that I could have more time on the videos. Because early days, I was crap at hitting deadlines.
Yeah.
I remember Karl had forced it. He was like, Brad, I need to check the videos before they go up, and you're uploading them an hour before they go up.
Yeah.
Please upload them a day early. I was like, because when he said a day early, it's like, well, that doesn't make a difference to me. I just shift my schedule to work a day earlier.
Yeah.
But I remember like the latest I ever got one out, because until there was one Christmas where we took a week off or something, but until then we hadn't missed an upload. Yeah. We hadn't missed a single upload. And the latest I got one up was 9 o'clock, I remember.
And I think it was for like the 2 years prior to starting Fact Fiend, in the year when we had Fact Fiend, I was writing every day. I didn't take a day off in 3 years.
And then that first year when I was at Taco Bell, I was working 50 hours plus a week.
Yeah, and I was writing full time and still working at racecourses. Living on a sofa. So hell yeah.
But yeah, no, this has been another from the archives, like a little retrospective look at that
it's been
first
interesting.
episode. I don't know what length this will end up being. I'll edit it down to something. If you enjoy this, then let us know. You know, like the video.
Like, comment,
everybody
subscribe.
like that video.
Like the video, comment, and subscribe.
But yeah, thank you for joining us, and hope people enjoyed this little look into the history of the channel. Hello and welcome to the 2023 Snooker Championships. We're here with the highlights of today's game between G and the world champion Dandeli. I'm joined here by my co-host Nisha. How are you doing today?
Pretty good on this warm, sunny May day.
Very warm day today.
Good day for a spot of snooker.
Indeed it is. There were some very unusual manoeuvres in this particular game.
Yeah, I think it was probably one of my favourite games. Especially that classic that G pulled off, the Ultra Nerd 257. I've never seen that done before in a game.
No, I haven't. I've seen it in rookie games, but never in a professional competition. I also saw the return of a famous Maxwell Steese manoeuvre. If you watch this one here.
Ah, yes.
Yes, a very impressive move there by Dandeli.
I don't think I've seen that perform since it was Onyxia.
Yes, 1967 I think that one is. Correct me if I'm wrong on our Twitter feed.
And here... Wait, no, I don't want to see. I thought it was David Attenborough. Here we have the Amy Brundridge.
And here, Amy Brundridge. If you look very closely here at the fingers, you can see that the Amy Brundridge hold is being used here to perform this manoeuvre, and it is spectacular to see.
It is, but it is being countered by the malcontent robot, which I think is a bit of a strong manoeuvre.
Perhaps if he'd played a Lyndon B. Johnson instead, he could maybe have performed better in that situation.
Well, he did a lot better than Anders Lee in that last frame, if you recall.
Yes, Anders Lee, one of the unfortunates of the snooker.
And here we have the epic move. Very good call.
It was an interesting play, that one. I thought that the RR7567 would be deployed, but not in this situation, no.
Followed by the Saint 14.
I've not seen the Saint 14 perform like that since 2002, when I believe Kaloran was the champion.
Oh, against Sean Watson, yeah.
Yes, that was a fantastic game.
Great game.
I remember towards the end when it got more intense. I remember screaming, "Taylor Brandwood!" That famous Yorkshire catchphrase.
Anyway, back to our game right here. My shoes hurt 69. That's a good manoeuvre by Dandeli.
Yes, impressive manoeuvre to use the shoe to perform an actual hit. Very rare and very, very sought after by many. Some are completely unable to remove their shoes mid-game.
Clearly an inspiration from Ian Lewis.
Yes, Ian Lewis was the one who perfected that.
Lewis? I can never say that name.
This is impressive. I do not think I've seen a Sam TDS performed in such a way.
Oh, they're countered by the Tam McKee. Oh, this is getting tough.
It's getting very spicy.
Looking at Dandeli's face, looks like she could do with Mr. Bad Boy Patch right now.
Yes, could be very useful. I believe this manoeuvre we're seeing here was popularised by Robert Hutton.
A move also perfected by Alicia.
I think that was the Impy that Alicia perfected.
Are you sure?
You see an example, just here, this example here.
Ah, they're pulling out all the moves this time.
Indeed.
here comes G with I think a move he is trying to claim as his own, the Grim Backhaul.
Yes, we've seen a similar move, but not quite what he performs here. But the most spectacular moment of this, the ending. I cannot believe that the Zeran King stroke was performed before my very eyes.
Amazing stuff.
Incredible. Well, thank you all for joining us for the snooker. This snooker match, as my commentator put it in one of the outtakes.
Yes, that is the correct term.
If you would like to hear your name read out in some comical way, join our Patreon at the VIP tier.
Thank you.
And remember, snook your heart out. That's my snooker catchphrase.